while I did my best, shooting meth catches up with everybody. Okay, I was banging that shit. You know, people. I fucked my life up on that shit, real bad. I found myself on the street again at age 19. And this was entirely my fault because I was shooting crystal meth like a retard. As my extensive history of trauma makes it very easy to get, taboo medications, I was doctor shopping for as many benzos as I could get, selling them for crystal meth and $1 burgers from Jack in the Box. That was me living the dream, California dreaming. This led to a twist in my story nobody would ever see coming. I was sitting on Sunset Boulevard, broke as hell again, high as fuck, and wondering how I was going to turn a huge bag of Klonopin into some cash. A short but stocky biker-style man was passing by. He collapsed right in front of me and began shaking violently. I asked what was wrong, and he screamed that he was having a seizure. I knew that in the emergency room, the Klonopin was used to treat seizures. I offered it to him. I was high as fuck. I wasn't thinking any of this through, really. I was like, oh, do you want some Klonopin? He took 2 pills, and that shit hits you quick, and he very quickly recovered. He stood up, and even though he's like a foot shorter than me, his presence was like looming over me, and he said, "You just saved my life. Do you know who I am?" I thought he meant personally. I was like, "No, I never met you before, bro." Because this was just a stranger. He shook his head because he could tell I didn't get it, and showed me the patches on his leather jacket. I will use discretion in what I'm about to talk about. He told me, "I'm a Hell's Angel. Who are you out here with?" Looking at my disheveled appearance. And I explained what I just told you. Oh, I was a fucking loser. He told me something that I'm never going to forget. "You're not out here alone no more. I'm now going to be your street father. You call me Pops and you're coming with me." I always secretly wanted me and my own dad to be closer, so I felt kind of weird about this at the time. Now looking back, ironically, even though I returned to my birth father to get away from crime, he turned out to be more criminal than this guy. Shit. In respect to Hell's Angels Motorcycle Club, events I witnessed and experienced with Pops and his crew are not to be discussed here, or publicly at all, because you don't talk about that shit. Hell's Angels, I used your name, I'm sorry. Thank you for being people of integrity. We talk about that later. One day, business as usual. This is the one thing I will do. Selling drugs with Pops. He had been drinking and asked me for a couple Klonopin. As my superior I did not question him because I was certain he could handle his drugs. Although I did secretly question tapping into what we were selling because everyone knows you don't do that. I gave him a few pills and waited. 5 to 10 minutes later, oh man, I forgot this part was coming up. I looked over and he was asleep. And I figured he needed it and didn't want to wake him. If you saw Hell's Angel sleeping next to you, you wouldn't wake his ass up either. Respect. God. But 20 minutes later, he was drooling all over himself. And that day, Pops died right next to me. I knew I was next in line, and I made a hard 180. For the next 8 years, I didn't touch crystal meth one more time. Before getting into the story of recovery, a letter I wrote. "Pops, whatever your real name is, I'm sorry I let you go down that day. Thank you for demonstrating the path I was on as I immediately got clean after you died. Thank you for all you did for me when I needed it most. Thank you to your people in Hell's Angels for teaching me that even the bad guys often honor a code of respect and integrity. Forgive me for using the MC name in this autobiography, but ironically, y'all were better men than most following in this story. Y'all know how that goes. That's how you ended up in Hell's Angels. The established, put-together men in your life turned out to be pieces of shit. It's been 10 years, but as y'all say, I'm gonna say it, fuck it. Angels forever, forever angels." Next video talks about my recovery.